Hello, folks, and welcome once again to Focus on East Alabama. It's our real pleasure today to have Chance Corbett on program with us. Chance is the past president of the Old Russell County Courthouse Association, and he's very involved with everything that's going on here at the Old County Courthouse. And as you might can see, if you look around in behind us here, we're actually standing on the porch. Or I guess in olden days, this was called a portico, though,
I
right?
think that's true, yeah.
A portico, not a porch.
Portico-chet, ain't it?
Portico-chet.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
But anyway, Chance, let me shake your hand and thank you for
Yes, sir.
taking time out of your busy schedule to come and visit with us. As I told you just a moment ago, before we get talking about the old Labor Day Fair, which is coming up in a couple of weeks,
Right.
on September the 4th, here at the courthouse grounds, and inside the courthouse itself.
It is.
We want to talk a little bit about the history of the courthouse and how
All right.
old this building is and the historic significance
Sure.
of the building itself. So I'm just going to kind of turn it over to you and let you just give us a rundown.
Well, I'm sure we have a lot of residents that still don't know this building's here. The county seat for Russell County is in Phoenix City, where we've had a courthouse for years, and we've, in the last 10 years, moved to a different building, the old Meade building there in front of the amphitheater. But this building here, this courthouse, what we call the old Russell County Courthouse in Seale, was built in 1868. This became the county seat of Russell County because this was the center. This is where they felt it needed to be. Prior to it being here, it was actually in Crawford, Alabama, because Crawford was the center of Russell County. And if you know anything about Russell County, you're thinking I'm crazy right now because that's in the extreme north part of the county. But back in the early 1800s, Lee County didn't exist. So Russell County was much larger to the north, so Crawford was the center of it, which is where, like I said, that was the county seat. Well, when they moved it, it was voted on, it was moved here in 1868 to Seale, the center of the county. This building was constructed, and we had court here. They had a lot of the county offices here and things until it was moved much later into the, I believe it was the 30s, into Phoenix City to the newer courthouse that is now the Judicial Center on 14th Street.
Now, some interesting features about this building. I know it's what contractors call a solid brick construction. It's not brick veneer.
Right.
It's solid brick. And these walls, as you can see from looking around the windows here, are something like, I think, 14 inches thick.
That's probably an understatement. I think they may be a little thicker
14,
than that. But
16 inches.
We experienced that a little bit a year ago when we installed an elevator.
Right.
We put an elevator in the building for the first time because this building gets rented. It was getting rented once or twice a month. Now, sometimes we're struggling trying to find an open date now that we have the elevator. It's getting used a lot more.
Okay.
But we actually had to go into the floor and dig a pit for the elevator, which was interesting. Then we had to go through the flooring of the second floor, or the ceiling of the first floor, and we actually saved the timbers that were in that, really old stuff. So we got a glimpse of some of the construction. It was built very well. For
Right.
sure.
Yeah. Okay. Now, also, while we're talking about that, there are some notables that, according to legend, have served here as judges and so forth. I know as you go through the front doors here on the right, there's a portrait of a judge who was here for a long time. Tell us a little bit about that judge.
I'd love to tell you a lot about it, Judge O'Neill, but I don't know enough of that history. Some folks would, our Tommy Boswell, our previous sheriff, would probably tell you all the history about it.
Right.
Some of the folks that helped restore this courthouse probably know it, but I've not really dug deep enough to really tell you much about it. I heard that Hugo Black had tried a case here. A lot of history that, unfortunately, I haven't really had the time to really dig into much.
Okay.
So,
now, another interesting story, one I find personally interesting, is the fact that there was a jail across this street over here to our right.
That's right.
Down by the school area down there.
Right.
And at one time, a notorious criminal by the name of John Dillinger was housed in that jail. Now, I thought for years that the little building over here, which is the bathrooms now, the outdoor bathrooms, which were originally a real outhouse, right?
I believe it was built to, answer the call, per se, as be the external restrooms in the building, because this building now has internal restrooms, but they were built much later.
Right. Yeah. But that jail down there, when Dillinger was in it, legend has it that's one of the very few jails that he never escaped from, right?
That's the story I get. The Russell County Jail was, like you said, located about where that little baseball area field is. A lot of people think that the school owns that property, but that entire field there is owned by the county too, for this property.
Right.
But there's still a corner piece of concrete down there from where the old jail sat at, and we actually have a picture on our Facebook site of the old jail as it sat in that field.
Okay, give us that website.
Our Facebook, it's the Old Russell County Courthouse, and I think it actually is listed Old Seale Russell County Courthouse on Facebook. But if you just do a search and you can find it on Facebook, go there. We had some scrapbooks, some pretty big scrapbooks from the 70s, 80s, and 90s, and I actually went through and took pictures of each one of the pictures and posted them on Facebook. So there's a lot of history there.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I know you mentioned earlier that this building is now available for weddings or parties of anniversary celebrations and this kind of thing.
Right.
How do folks go about making arrangements to reserve the building?
We streamlined that a little bit to make it easier for people. The Russell County Courthouse, or the commission office, takes care of the rentals for this building, takes care of the rentals for Crawford, as well as the senior center in Fort Mitchell as well. So everything goes through the commission office. Carla or Tina hold the book, and they book it out and take the rent and give the deposits and all of that back.
Okay, all right. Now, the main reason we're here today is to talk about the upcoming Old Courthouse Fair here at the Old Courthouse in Seale. Tell us a little bit about the history of this Old Courthouse Fair. I know it got started many years ago, and then there was a hiatus in which it was not held for several years, and then it's been reactivated for a certain number of years. Tell us a little bit about the history of the fair.
I grew up going here as a kid, so it actually started, from what I understand, in the late 70s, where they started it as a way to renovate the old courthouse. We have pictures of this courthouse with no roof on it. We have pictures where the columns are brick, and they doesn't have the plaster over them. It looks so bad that it was questionable why they even tried to save it. It was that bad. And I'm even told that at one point the county commission voted to tear it down, and then the community came together and started working on it, which is awesome history. Well, they started a yard sale, is what it was. The fair on Labor Day, they started doing yard sale stuff out here. People bring clothes and stuff and sell it. And it turned into kind of a vendor fair. And through the 80s and early 90s, it was just the happening place on Labor Day. People would come down here and get barbecue that the county commission would cook all night or 2 nights, and getting ready for that. That was their fundraiser. And and I'm not even sure the year actually, but at some point a lot of the members started getting older. They got disinterested. They got tired, as any of us would, or were running too hard. And they just decided to stop doing it. So they stopped doing the Labor Day Fair. And you can imagine all these volunteers that come help. It's pretty tasking for them. Heather Tharp, who I roped into getting on this committee years ago after she bought a house from me, is our star now. She's running with this. She's the one pushing this event for us, thank goodness, because I don't know that we would get it done. Getting the vendors here is a lot of work that goes into it. But we've had it going now, I believe, for 5 or 6 years back strong.
At least.
Last year, to me, was the strongest year that we had had.
The attendance is growing, I think, every year.
I estimated last year that our attendance was over 7,000 people. So last year we had some very good bands that were playing, which we'll talk about, I know, and we did the ribbon cutting on the elevator. So we had a little additional interest to that, and the crowd was just unreal.
Well, I understand the elevator right now is inoperable.
Well, by the time Labor Day, it'll be back up and running.
Gets here,
we did have an unfortunate lightning strike, but for the good grace of the commission, we actually had insurance on everything, so it'll be back up and running this week. So
good. That's a good thing. All right. Well, tell us a little bit about some of the interesting things that will be going on at the Labor Day Fair. Now, you mentioned
Right.
music.
Sure.
So let's just start with music.
Yeah.
Now, I know we have a restored gazebo down here where
We did,
musicians
yeah.
usually set up.
Several years ago, they actually built a gazebo out here. It's a square gazebo. They built it, and I'm glad they did, because we utilize it a lot, especially on Labor Day for the bands to come and play and things like that. Before, they had some homemade stuff out here that we actually had set up. Some of the older pictures show trailers and things they set up as stages, so
Right.
we're very fortunate to have them. But this event runs on Labor Day, which is September the 4th, runs from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., and that's Eastern Time. We go on Eastern Time in Russell County. And we have bands that will start as early as 10:30, and they'll start playing. And we'll have several different bands. The first one is the Dulcimers will play, and the second one is Blackberry Possum. And you may have heard that name, but the Blackberry Possum have played at the Loft in Columbus, 8th and Rail in Opelika, several city events at the city of Auburn and other places in Alabama. It's a very good band. It's very unique that the lead guy plays a washboard. It is the craziest thing to hear, but when you actually hear them, you will rave over the music, I think.
Got to be some country music.
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
Right?
Well, it's like a bluegrass type, newgrasses, I think is what they call it. But
Newgrass,
it's really good music. We really enjoyed it. This will be the second time we've had them back, because people raved over them last year.
Right.
So we'll have them, and then as soon as they're done, we're going to have another band that's going to come in behind them. And that's going to be, I just lost it, sorry. Thank you, East Wind. With Roger Newman, that crew, they're going to come in and play. And I think they're actually starting at 1:30. So 10:30, the Dulcimers, then 11:30 we'll have Blackberry Possum, and then East Wind will come in at 1:30 and play the rest of the afternoon, so till 4 o'clock.
Okay, that's great then. Okay, now, how about some of your vendors, maybe some vendors that have been here in the past and are coming back again this year?
Yeah, we've had a lot of return customers. They get out here and realize that people are coming for that purpose. They're coming to purchase things and to look and to find neat things they don't see all year long. We usually have a local guy here that sells honey. We have people that sell furniture. We have the homemade furniture and things. We have other homemade items. We have some a guy that comes and sells produce. You've been here for years selling paintings and things, so it's just a good atmosphere for people to come and see things that they don't see every day.
Right, yeah. I remember, was it last year or year before, I had a guy who actually made airplanes for kids of tin cans.
You had one of those in my house flying around my little boy's room for sure. Yeah, we got the Coca-Cola, not the Budweiser one, but
right,
we did.
Okay. Both beer and soft drink.
Yeah,
cans,
it was really nice. That was really neat how he did. It had a propeller on it and had the wings. It was really good.
Kind of neat. It was. Okay.
Yep.
All right. I'll tell you what. We're going to break away for just a moment and then come back with more conversation with our guest today, Chance Corbett. And so we'll be back with more Focus in just a moment.
I'm only 17, but I know about investing. Believe in something, buy shares in it, watch it grow. So, what if you could invest in the future? The future of kids, like a stock. Not the kind of stock that's about making money, but a stock for social change. A whole new kind of investment called Better Futures. When you invest, it helps kids go to college. I could be one of the first college graduates from my family. The first philanthropist from my neighborhood. And if I'm the first, then maybe there's a second and a third. Believe in us, invest in us, watch us grow. My name is Sydney, and I'm your dividend.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back to Focus on East Alabama. Again, today our guest is Chance Corbett, who is one of our sitting county commissioners, who is also the past president of the Old Russell County Courthouse Association, of which he was president, I think you said 7 years?
I think it was about 7 years. Too long.
With that job?
Too long.
Okay. Now, we want to kind of wrap things up in talking about the Old Labor Day Fair coming up on September the 4th. Allow you the opportunity to tell folks about admission fees and all this kind of good stuff. Some of the things for the kids that are going to be here too.
Sure.
Okay, Chance?
Yeah, the only fees here are for the vendors to set up. We do charge a small fee. I think it's $35 for the vendors to actually come and set up, and it's a little more if you're doing food. But if you're coming to it, it's free. Parking is everywhere. We have parking on the roads. We have parking in the fields. We have a lot of things that, places for people to park. We'll try to help with that as well. We also have entertainment for the kids. You come and you can purchase little tickets for the kids to do little rides and inflatables and things like that. This year we have a special treat where our emergency management agency is actually coming and setting up Preparedness Day in conjunction with our Labor Day Fair down in the field next to the Oliver School. And that will be, you'll have fire trucks, emergency first responder vehicles and things like that to teach people to be better prepared for any type of disasters and emergencies out there. So we're glad to have those, and just a really good day. It runs from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern time. You can't miss it once you get to Seale. There's signs out on the highway on 431 that tell you which way the old Russell County Courthouse is. We'll try to put up some banners and things ahead of it and some signs as well, and we're going to go through the city and other places trying to get people here. We're just glad to have them.
All right. One thing that you might want to mention too is the fact that you guys, and when I say you guys, I'm talking about the commission,
right,
is setting up and cooking all day Sunday and half the night on Sunday night to have the barbecue ready on Monday morning.
I wish
I'm sure it's not just barbecue. You're going to sell more than barbecue, right?
I wish I could give the commissioners credit for that, but it's going to be our the Courthouse Association, our committee, basically.
Okay.
I'd love to see the commissioners down here cooking barbecue. That'd be great. I'll be glad to. I'll be happy to.
Well, I know you're going to be
sure,
down here
absolutely.
If they'll let me. A couple, maybe we can embarrass a couple of the others into coming down and helping you out.
We have some folks that are great here, and they just love doing that kind of thing. So, but yeah, that will be our main fundraiser for keeping this building up.
Right.
Will be the barbecue sales, and we'll also do hot dogs that day as well. Sweet tea, you're going to have tea. It may get a little warm that day. We're hoping for good weather. We usually get some good weather out here, and we're hoping for a really good day. And we just bring your lawn chair, come out and listen to the music and enjoy it, walk around, keep our vendors coming back, buy something from them, keep them coming back every year, and, come support the old courthouse in Russell County.
You might also mention that not only is the association selling the barbecue, but you also have some other food vendors that usually come in too.
Yeah, we do. We'll have.
Will be here, have hamburgers, hot dogs.
Seems like every year we have alligator on a stick, or and funnel cakes and cotton candy and stuff like that. Yeah, we'll have a lot of stuff out here that day.
Well, I'm gonna be quiet and allow you to once again invite everybody to turn out.
I appreciate it. Yeah, the big thing is we just want to make everybody aware of this. Please share it with your friends. Go to Facebook. We've got an event on Facebook as well. Come out and enjoy it. You can come as early as 10 a.m. and music will start up at 10:30 and it'll end sometime around 4 when the fair is over with. I think if you come, you'll start coming back every year. I think you'll enjoy it. Remember, it's free. Bring the whole family, and there'll be plenty of parking in the area for you.
Okay, again, Chance, thank
you
you for taking time out of your busy schedule and being with us.
Appreciate it.
We thank you, too, for being with us for Focus on East Alabama today. This program is brought to you by CTV Beam, your hometown provider for cable television, high-speed internet, and home telephone. See you next time.